Hello, Intactivist. So, what does POTS actually do? First of all, for us to be of any benefit, there has to be a problem to solve. So, we have to first figure out the problems of intactivism and how we can fix that. So, without going in too much detail, because we will do that in later videos, the communications between organizations are horrendous. The communications between donor and intactivist businesses are also not good. Look at Prevail over the system. We have under 250 subs. Why isn't POTS getting around to other intactivists and genital autonomy advocates? We predicted there are around 32,000 people in this movement. Where are they? Isn't their job just to spread the word? So this brings us to the first 5 things that POTS does. We are the one-stop shop for communications between organizations. We do this by providing a neutral Discord, a neutral place to interview, and POTS will ask the hard questions that people want to know but are afraid to ask, or the organization or interviewee has been trying to avoid. The second thing is knowledge. Before we started POTS, people had lots of misconceptions, such as Forgin has been around for 20 years, there is only 3 intactivist groups, cockfight is huge, or circumcision rates are dropping rapidly, and many other things. It's hard to operate a movement if you don't know all the facts. We give the facts so you can know the state intactivism is really in. You can all be on the same page when you watch the news, so you don't have to follow 100 different intactivist groups. We can do that for you. The third thing is to bring intactivists together so they can be heard with interviews and polls so people and organizations can know what you are actually thinking. Also, so intactivists can plan what they are going to do. Because what if an intactivist wanted to do something that has already been done? Well, now, if they want to become a Vtuber, they know how hard it can be. Or if they want to do something like make a film, etc., they know how likely it is to succeed. Another important thing is that we give mostly unbiased and neutral news. We try to get everyone's opinion and views through polls and questions, and we try and give both sides of the story. On top of this, we have a completely free Discord for people to come into. I know there are many intactivist Discords that you have to pay to get in, or they simply don't have one, or they will kick you out if you post too much or say not popular things. And I've seen Discords that are unruly and very uncomfortable to be in. The only time we at POTS have kicked out people in our Discord is when they break rules multiple times and they get voted off. This also provides a neutral territory for everyone. We already have lots of big names in intactivism in our Discord. Another issue is that certain groups will go ahead and gossip behind each other's backs, but won't tell the people who they are upset about how they actually feel. This causes infighting or confusion on what's really going on. Maybe it's because they are afraid of making others mad or reprisal, so they resort to gossiping or gatekeeping. So this leads us to number 6. POTS is a VTuber, so POTS can go ahead and say a bunch of things that most flesh tubers aren't going to. Also, we don't get censored except by maybe YouTube. We will offer third-party verification and company reviews based off of your opinions and the facts that we find from our research. There is not much a company can do to a VTuber except get upset and spread nasty things about us or try to shun us. And we have people everywhere, so companies need to be aware of that. So even if they are talking bad, we still might get it and just cover it so we can have an open conversation about it. Also, the company can comment in the comment section if they choose, so they can continue the conversation. So it's a win for everybody. Another issue that intactivists have is a lack of funding. This leads us to 7 and 8. POTS wants to collaborate with other and all intactivist groups, and we can do so by spending money on them through advertising. That way, we aren't just donating, but we are working together to spread POTS and help your favorite nonprofits and for-profits out. When they grow, we grow. It's an ever-growing circle. This can literally be, hey, make a post on your Facebook or Twitter and maybe a small video about Prevail over the system and your experience, and we will give you $200, maybe $500, or even thousands. This all really depends on how much support POTS gets from YouTube and the e-commerce partnerships that we have. But that really all depends on the viewers to join the POTS army. This will provide more funds for the movement. This also entices other organizations in this movement to start working together. I'll also cover this a little bit more when we start talking about the alliance. POTS aims to be one of the few groups in the movement that hopefully can provide for itself without donations, and so we can help others in this movement. We can do this through e-commerce and if we get a YouTube partnership. However, to get this off the ground, once again, we're going to need full cooperation from at least 200 intactivists or at least 1,000 people to subscribe to this channel. So this way we don't have to compete with donations from an ever-shrinking pool of cash, and that can go to other companies instead. So go ahead and subscribe, please, and join the Discord to learn about the e-commerce side of POTS. Link down below. Another problem that intactivism has is that there's just not enough work for intactivists to do that they are actually comfortable doing, or it's too much technical or skilled work that they don't know how to do. Which brings us to number 9. We are providing new ways for people to help. People don't want to be seen working for intactivism. I'll cover that in another video. And people have tried to work at other intactivists' jobs and they get burnt out because it's too mentally tough or too confusing, or they don't have the proper skills for it. At POTS, if you want to assist the cause, you can share a video, fill out polls, partake in the e-commerce program, explain to others how to use the e-commerce program, all the way to doing research, editing videos, finding 1-minute clips of our videos and turning them into YouTube shorts and delivering them to me, and so much more. We actually have somebody who is designing a new avatar for the model. So you can definitely help us with very little stress, and there is very low burnout because this isn't mentally tasking as reliving and talking about your trauma all the time. We really don't do that here too much. Another problem with intactivism is that it's not fun. It's really not fun. And that brings us to 10 through 12 on how Prevail over the system helps. We provide entertainment and give a parasocial experience to our viewers. You can get to know me. Who doesn't want to do that? You can hop on the Discord, and we host voice calls quite frequently. We are constantly active and expanding. We post a video or short almost every day. A lot of intactivist groups don't even post once a week. And we are the only Vtuber intactivist group around. Also, there is no issue of circumraging and circumtraumaing our viewers because we barely touch that subject unless we do interviews and the interviewee brings it up. But once again, we barely bring any of that up because people are very tired of hearing the same thing said over and over again, so we don't do it. And the last reason of what POTS does, and this is the sad part, we are providing the last chance for many intactivists that are currently here. Lots of people are fed up with the movement for various reasons, mostly because of the infighting and drama, also the fact that we are losing so many groups. But at POTS, we are giving the chance for people to come together and work together, and hopefully we can start growing this movement through new ways. And lots of people are putting a lot of stake in POTS. And if POTS were to fail and graduate, we would have to go back to the Dark Ages, where there is no fun VTuber around keeping up with everything. And a lot of people would quit intactivism altogether, because how could this movement not support POTS? It's so free and easy. So lots of people are using POTS as a test gauge to see if intactivism is worth their time. So there you go. Those are the 12 benefits of POTS. I am sure there are other benefits of POTS, but you know what? 12 is such a holy number. You got the 12 commandments, the 12 disciples, a dozen eggs, 12 months in a year. Okay, you guys get the point. So that is why it's really important for POTS to get fully funded for the year. And you can always support me on Ko-fi if you want. We're already 54% of the way funded towards our goal, which is awesome. Anyways, let me know if you can think of anything more down in the comments of the perks that POTS provides, and if you have any comments, questions, or concerns about anything else. So thank you guys for watching. Bye! A special shout out to our Ko-fi supporters: